Alright, I want everyone to close your eyes. I'm serious, close your eyes. I can see you all, so you really do it. I want you to picture that you're with your niece or nephew or cousin or friend's child, around a 3 or 4-year-old, and you walk up to a red brick gate. You hand your ticket to a friendly woman who tells you to have an amazing day. You walk inside and you smell churros, popcorn. You notice how clean the park is. You notice how everything is so imaginative and it draws you in. And then the toddler sees a cartoon character, goes running to them, and the cartoon character ruffles their hair and gives them a hug to the flash of your camera. Now open your eyes. Obviously, you're not thinking of Knott's Berry Farm, you're thinking of Disneyland. And so my claim is that Disneyland is way better than Knott's Berry Farm. First of all, Disneyland has a lot more children's attractions, rides, shows than Knott's Berry Farm does. Both the Disneyland website and the Knott's Berry Farm website tell us that Disneyland has 91 attractions and shows, including 8 different themed lands that are specifically for children and adults. Knott's has 12 rides only for kids and 10 family rides, and it only has one themed location called Camp Snoopy that is for kids. All the other locations are very vast, big, with weird history that kids don't understand, and really large roller coasters that scare them. Also, I have examples from Michael Hoffman, who went to Knott's Berry Farm, and Jessica, who went with her family to Disneyland, about situations that they had with employees. Michael and his girlfriend went to a Knott's haunt at Knott's Berry Farm and asked an employee why Accelerator was down. He proceeded to tell them that a child had lost their leg, and that is why the ride was down. Going to customer service, Michael and his girlfriend asked for compensation, and by the time a manager came after an hour, 2 hours of waiting, all he did was tell them that you can't have compensation, and then he proceeded to intimidate them into leaving. At Disneyland, Jessica went with her family, and when they got to the Soarin' California ride, it was an hour or 2 wait, which, if you've been to Disneyland, that is a common thing to happen. A cast member came up to them and asked them if he could help them, and they said, well, we really want to go on this ride, but it's a really long wait. He then took them straight to the front of the line, waited with them in line, talking to them, making the wait go by faster, and then put them in the best seats in the house. Lastly, I have a statistic from the Beverly Hills Courier, which takes their data directly from the Orange County Register. Out of 284 injuries from theme park rides, 28 of those are from Knott's Berry Farm's Ghost Rider. A woman named Kelly Castellanos sprained her rib on Ghost Rider and said, it's a horrible ride, it needs to be shut down. Disneyland, on the other hand, the closest they got to that was 14 injuries from Splash Mountain. But the injuries were so vast and different that that they really couldn't find any specific reason why the ride was causing these injuries, and so could not fix it. So as you can see, Knott's lacks helpful, good employees, safe rides, and lots of children entertainment. Disneyland, on the other hand, exceeds expectation in all of these and more. After all, it is the happiest place on earth.
But I won't go on like the accelerator or something.
All right, Amanda, I'm not sure that the visualization at the beginning really requires us to close our eyes. I know that's one of those things that people do sometimes, and it's not a huge problem, but I'll tell you what, if it had happened 2 or 3 times during the course of the day, if somebody else was using the same technique, it would be a little irritating. So if you can avoid, making an imposition like that on your audience, then that's probably a good idea. Just asking people to visualize something in their head is usually sufficient. Getting them to close their eyes maybe takes a little. That means like for the first minute of your speech, I can't take notes because I've got my eyes are closed. I can't write. Unless I learn Braille, I'm going to be I have a hard time filling out your evaluation form. I thought you had a very clear statement of your claim, and then you were very enthusiastic about presenting it. You've got a lot of factual data about the parks and the number of rides and attractions and those sorts of things. I wasn't quite clear whether or not should be testimony or example evidence when you're talking about the experience of the people at the two different parks. I kind of put it into the testimony category because it sounded like it was a direct quote at the beginning, although as I listen to it and think about it more, I think maybe it fits better in the example category. The statistical information on the injuries, I thought that was perfectly fine, and so that gets you into that category there without any trouble. You've got good source citations on the material, and like I said, I thought it was energetically presented, and it's clear what your point of view is, and you finish off pretty well. Okay, thank you.